welcome back to another One Piece video. I didn't really have too much planned today, but I was planning on playing Robin this week for locals, so I figured I would take the list that I'm planning on bringing with me and just take it out for a spin on Sim. So main things about this deck is this is very heavy on the life burn, where we've got 4 of Robin and 4 of Kid, and we're trying to really punish our opponent with Banish there. Other main threats here, we have our Sanji and Rayleigh to rest down their threats and then swing at them so that they don't get cards out of these swings either. And then we have our healing in this Kuma, which you can use kind of early, or you can save it, and it's pretty good chaining late. And then we've got a bunch of pretty good trigger bodies. The only spicy card in here is the Nami, which can find me the Sanji or the Robin, or the Gum Gum Giant. The Giant's usually the most important one. Notably, it cannot find this Nami, but it can find this Onami. So that's the list we're going to play today. Hope you guys are ready for some games. Let's hop into them. Ooh, next up we have Bonney. Yellow Bonney, that is. They're opting to go second. I think that works out for us. We are going to get to use the Sol here. I'm going to keep... Sanji is pretty good into them. We would like to see a Robin, potentially, especially because we're going first. Robin is pretty good going first. Let's swing. We're going to get rid of the Onami. Then we're going to play out the Sol. Already burning some cards out of them. Depending on if they play a Kiku, we might guard out of us. No, we won't guard out of a 7. It would be an option if we knew we would draw a trigger card. This Bonney we will definitely... unfortunately, we do have to take this one, give them some card draw here. We will get to use our Nami on them, though, which will be nice. Amaru. It's good to know that they have that one. So let's swing, pitch, gain arrested, and then do that and pass. Robin, unfortunate that they find that right on curve. And then they get to go for a 7. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to take this one. The Kumas are going to have to come in clutch here. Let's go a 7 banish first. And then we'll do a Kuma pitch a Sanji. And then we'll have 1 up for Giant at the end. See how our opponent plays it. They do let it go. Kuma, pitch Sanji, and pass. We're incentivized to go to 0 this turn so that we don't get got as... Well, no, we still get got by the Bonney. We are going to definitely see on 8, they want to play Stussy. Which is quite strong into us right now because... Oh, they're going with the Onami. Interesting. Here, giving themselves Banish. I have the blocker, so I probably should use it. Or I can use Giant if they go small enough. Yeah, I'm going to use Giant. Pitching the other Sanji. Nami here can be useful. Ooh, Zeus. Interesting choice there. I take out my blocker. Are they just gonna swing? Oh, another Banish. Interesting. They're going real heavy on the Banish here. So we're gonna have to just let that one go. Here, we're gonna play another Kuma. Let's just try to get this Robin off the field. Not gonna trash. Okay, they do let it go. Do I think it's correct to do this? And we do need to eventually pressure them, so we have to go for it here. Yes, good that we dodge a trigger. Big Bonney coming out is probably likely here, which frankly will put us to 0. Because we won't be able to counter out of all of the swings here. We want to take, obviously, the Bonney if we can. Giant away this Nami so that we can attempt to go for it next turn. It's going to be tough, though. We have to kind of bank on them having some bricks. They are playing out their 2Ks from hand to get KOs. So we're going to have to bank a little bit on that. Yeah, there's the Bonney. I don't think that Kuma is enough here. We are going to use this. Resolve out of that. And we are going to have to take this 10. If they want to go at Kuma, that works out for us. And that good, they're going there. I think we are in... let's think here. They have to get out of just one of these. So maybe we do... Oh, the Onami can help because it makes 2 banish swings. We're probably not getting that there, though. 2 for a 9k swing. And then we have 7 to work with. If I ladder that out on these, it is 3 and 4, which is a 10 and an 11 to get through the last 2. 10 is 2k, 2k, 2k. 11 would be... do I go for it? I can also go bigger by playing more Olvias, which probably is correct here. Let's do Onami on one of these. I'm gonna go for a 9 here. Okay, they get out of it. That means we should clear this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go 12 here. That clears that. And then a banish here. And then I think this might be good enough. But we'll see. If they hit another Bonney. Okay, they have a second Bonney. 7, 8. 2 2s. And then only a 2 and a 1 left. So the second Bonney got us there. Good games to our opponent, though. Let's move on to the next one. All right, we have a SG21 Luffy who's opted to go first. I think I can mulligan because I think I'd like to see a little bit different. Nami in the beginning here is great. Let's us try to find some mid-game stuff, maybe a Sanji or something like that, which will be quite good for us. Nami's great. Unfortunately, we can't take another one, so let's take the Sanji and pass back to our opponent. Nami into Robin is probably going to work, although we are going to have to probably swing a 9 at them because we don't have much in the early game here. Maybe a flaw in the deck that I don't have more to do. in the early game. Jewelry. Oh, interesting here. 5. I am going to counter the first one here just because I have 2 of these robins and I really don't think I'm going to need both. I'm going to take this one though. So let's just get the buggy off the field. Then we'll have this Nami up for the following turn. 8's gonna work just as well. Here, I think I'm going to get rid of one of these veggies. Not too happy about it. The Sanji, though, will be a good follow-up on my next turn if I don't need the Nami to get rid of something. Yeah, here's the Luffy, which we will just go for the Nami on. Because we're going to have to take some hits here. I don't think I'm going to get a... Oh, I need to take just so I can see if I have a trigger. Yeah, I don't have a trigger to hit here. We're going to end up taking again. We do need to get rid of this no questions asked though, so we are going to do this into this. Yeah, let's go with 3 here. And then and we have nothing to trash. And we'll counter most likely out of this. And we might lose here. We do have the giant and a bunch of cards that we're not really needing at this moment. Buggy's a good start. I'm glad. Oh, and they missed, so that's great. Fiery Doll. Oh, we are definitely going to 0 here. Let's see. Chopper. Okay. Here we do get to do Saul and let's go. Let's see. We do need to play this Saul for sure. Or a Kuma. I guess Kuma is better. So let's just do a 5, trying to get them to use this block here. They do not use the block. In that case, let's do Kuma, pitch you to get a heal. And then sure, let's go for 1/6. Makes this chopper a little awkward to swing with. A rush body probably. Yes, we will draw a card. Thank you for giving me another life. That is fine by me. Another buggy, and then we're gonna get at least 2 swings out of our opponent. Probably a 5 and a 7. No. Okay, so a 6 and a 5 and a 6. Yeah, so 5 and 6 we can get out of that pretty reasonably. And then I'm gonna hold on the I actually will use this. Getting rid of the kid to protect here. I think that is correct here. Now we can do. Let's do a 5 here. Let's see if they get the block. That's okay with us. But I'm gonna use the Rayleigh here, resting you. Let's go 9 at it. And then a 6 lead. Not trashing anything. And then pass, gaining an active Dawn off of Rayleigh. So I really do like this Rayleigh. It's hard to find space to use it a lot of times. So maybe 4 is too many, but I do like the ability on 9 to be able to play him out, get some rest equity out of it, and ramp up to 10 that you can use with your Gum Gum Giant. Ooh, this is a big old swing. 11. Let's just giant that. Pitch you. And a 6 there. I think I'm gonna actually keep this. I think our opponent is not going to want us to get a hit in here, so we're gonna get a free card out of them, I think. Yeah, we get a card, and then we have technically 3 attacks, but they probably have let's see what's in that hand. Oh, they don't play anything out from it. Wow. So let's just play. Yeah, I'm gonna play out the Kuma. This is the safer play here. And then we'll do a 5, which I expect them to counter, and then a 9. Wow. They are taking aggressively, hoping for triggers maybe. Or they're just bricked, full bricked, which is certainly possible. They do find that the Rush Luffy. They only have 3 swings though, even with the Rush Luffy. So I think we're probably safe here. We only have 2 giants left in the deck, so holding this one up is a little less effective as a bluff. But if it makes them play around it, then that would be great. Ooh, yeah, they were bricked up on events. All right, so let's do one more. All right, next up we have a game against Sabo, who's opted to go second. I think I'm going to keep this one. The Robin curves into this deck seem to be pretty strong, kind of really crimping our opponent's ability to accumulate cards, which can be good. They do go to the trash, which is ultimately pretty fine for our opponent. And here, because we have the Sol here, ooh, they do just take it. I love it when I get a banish for no cards, essentially. And we'll get to get another one on a future turn. Here, because it's a free for them to get rid of this, I am gonna swing here because this gets rid of this block ahead of time. They just take. Interesting option to just take here. It is correct, I think, to play out this first and then swing. And we will pitch the other here. Hack, they are really incentivized to use at this point. Or a counter out of hand. I am surprised that they did that, because this Sol is essentially dead at this point because they have such a free KO on it. Wow, they're just gonna give it to me. This is gonna be pretty nice to be able to just do, and then we'll just pass back to them, and here we get rid of the other Robin. Here we're just gonna protect Kid. Another Sabo. This is unfortunately just kind of when decks have custom-made cards that go so well on them and you don't. They do get to kind of sit back behind some really strong cards. Sabo being one of them for sure. I'm gonna take here. We are gonna use this trigger. I'm gonna grab the Sanji. Okay, so here we're gonna play out Rayleigh. Let's go ahead and rest one of their guys. It will have to be one of their archers. No, Nami, you can't swing at it. Let's just go a 9 lead. I'm expecting some blocks to come out of here eventually. Hair removal fist is, oh, all right. Well, let's just see, because I should get this off the field without banish pressure. I do need to just swing it board. And then here, if I play out Olvia, it is a 9, but I don't think that's correct. This, I think, is correct, because I don't think they'll be able to get enough swings to get my big bodies off the field here, especially because we get another cycle here. And they are... Okay, so they get that nullified, and we'll pass the turn. You first. I don't think the... Let's see. Sanji is not any different, so Rayleigh's just a better body for the cost. He's just the... Instead of being even on cost, he's 1 extra. A Roger here. That would be interesting if they played that out, but they did not. Morley, so they have at least 1 2K there. Koala. I like that they're burning cards right now. I guess they have to burn cards so they can use these 2 abilities without downside. At this point, I kind of expect them to go at Robin, and we don't need to protect Robin. We would need to protect our other bodies. So we need to keep that in mind. Next turn we will swing with Robin first. Ooh, this is a big swing here. A 12 at 9 is 2K, 2K. If they go at it again, they have to use a blocker to do so. And we're going to split between 3 bodies on our next turn to try to clear all 3 blockers, I think. A 9 here. We will counter. They know we don't have Giant at this point, so they're going to go 9 again. Okay, this time they do get it. But they have just the 1 blocker left. They're probably, with them holding up 2, they probably have the hair removal fists. I think here it is best to, let's see here. Let's go first with Robin for just 6 is enough. No, I don't need to swing with lead first. Let's just go with 6. Let's get a card out of them. Is it correct to play out Rayleigh and then just sit? Let's go another 6 here. We're not gonna trash. I think we survive next turn pretty trivially. So we want to just drain cards out of their hand, and then we're going to play out this Rayleigh. Doesn't matter. We're going to pass here, gaining an active Dawn. They're going to clear out this Robin, and they're not going to be able to kill us here. We're in. It's a little hairy. These blockers are just super effective at being 8K blockers is so much. It looks like here comes a third one. The amount of value that these things get is kind of ridiculous, but that's okay. We'll let it go. Another waxing fist. We think they had 2 already, or they were representing 2. So let's see how they play it. Yeah, there's no protecting Robin here. Okay. So let's just go 8. Yeah, 8 is correct. It's enough to get 2 cards or a waxing fist or a block. We're not going to trash anything. Card and 1. Alright, so now that means we can swing at it. And then 3, 4, 5, 14. Now we get 1 off the field for sure. And we can probably defend one of our Rayleighs using this thing, and hopefully both of them because of the card draw afterwards. Are they considering using the Wax Fists? I kind of want that because I don't think extra bodies here is going to make a difference on the battlefield here. If they go 13, that's what their goal is to go 13. To make me use Giant plus a card, which is 5 on one of those and 1 on lead, so they can only really do 1 13. And then they have to hope we don't draw enough 2Ks to protect from the second swing. Okay. Using the plus to do this, okay. They're going to go for the 3 swings model. Unfortunately, we do have to use Giant first, because we won't get to use it if they don't. 13, that's the correct number. I am going to use the Giant. And we do get the 1K here. So 8. Plus 4 is 12, which is enough to get it on this next turn, but that will use up their second blocker. 7 plus 4 is 11, which is also enough, which leaves them with a blocker, which we probably can get around at that point. 9, we do have to use this. I have the hair removal fist, so let's go a 6 here. We're not going to trash anything, and then we're going to split between these two. So 4, so 13 and 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. 13 might be enough to get out of the... If they get out of both, then I think we're still okay because they will have to use their blockers. Okay, there's the first hair removal fist. 10, and the second one. Okay, so they didn't have 2. Okay, so that worked out for us. So this is really tough. Even when I had a pretty strong board in the beginning of the game, this was still really tough because these blockers are just so darn strong. Let's go ahead and do a wrap-up. All right, so we're here for the wrap-up. Some interesting games, some not as interesting games. I recently had to change my Road to Rotation series to reflect the kind of reality that the older leaders just really aren't strong enough to match up to this meta. And I think that it's even getting to the point where some of these relatively newer leaders are also starting to fall into that bucket. Robin is a deck that can still grind with people, but I think that you are always feeling like an underdog even when you are in your ideal spots with these decks. And I don't think that the meta currently is one that really is conducive to the strengths of this deck. So I'm definitely playing it this week for my locals, but I think I might put this one on the shelf until a better meta comes out for it. I think the things that this Robin deck has historically succeeded at the most are metas where they have kind of mid-rangey bodies that are KOable. The issue that we're seeing in the current meta is you have stuff like Ace, who just plays giant bodies and draws so many cards that you can't effectively use your banish on them, or Emu, whose bodies just are unkillable, or Sabo is a tough one, even though I feel like that one's probably the closest of those the newer decks. Sabo just has those 8k blockers for no, like, for essentially the rest of the game, and 8k blockers and a 6k lead are really annoying for Robin to deal with. Always having to invest a Dawn on your leader is really taxing on what the rest of the deck is allowed to do. And Zoro just doesn't care about what anything you do and will just keep hitting you in the face, and you are a 4-life leader, so you eventually keel over. So I think there's just a lot of headwinds for this deck right now, and until we see a meta with a much more removal friendly and low body friendly kind of format, like against Doflamingo in the starter deck meta, this deck was pretty well positioned, I would say. You had one of your best matchups was the top deck in the format, and at this point we don't have any really strong matchups in the beginning or in the top of the meta, and I think that's a shame, but it's not something that I'm fully going to give up on. I think it's just going to sit on the shelf a little bit, and I'll keep acquiring cards for it as things to look forward for the future, but I think this really needs a new meta shift to start to come back into the format. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you are looking forward to this week's locals videos that I'm going to put out with Robin. But thanks again for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.